Well, it's another day back in the Republic. My name is Brave, and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources of Republic Early Start DLC. So there has been a lot of things going on, a lot of slow movement, especially in the early start. There's just not a lot of fast movement going on. But one thing that I did want to take a look at and get addressed, I don't think, and this was never assigned. I want to get that assigned out just in case they run out of anything to do over here. I want to make sure that they have enough to do so that they don't have any vehicles sitting. Secondly, we did finish up this other construction office. It might not have finished when the episode itself finished, but it did finish up when I might have been messing around just a little bit to kind of see how things were flowing. So this did finish, which means we can now expand the amount of vehicles that we have working within the Republic. So that's going to be good. So I guess let's just look to get this filled up because we do have this one on the way as well. We have this road one. So I do want to make sure that we have enough vehicles. It's without bricks and boards. Okay, so it looks like we're using more bricks and boards. Now, I'm not too sure. Load and unload. Rail construction office. I'm not sure why these guys got unassigned. I might have accidentally did that prior. But we'll reassign all this. Let's see if they get underway here. So we want to unload everything. And we want to keep it at 100. I might have accidentally just removed it when I was clicking around previously. So that's why they're not putting boards in. So I don't think I'm going to need to get more distribution offices for these boards. I think it was just a one-off fluke. So they're without a lot of stuff. So they might be heading back here, which is never ideal, but I guess it's fine early on. What I do want to get, and I don't know, I think they're busy doing their own thing. This is completely full up. So I'm going to change the workplace for all of these vehicles. I want them all to go over in here. So that's going to be 4 open halls. We don't need any more bulldozers. We can get bigger buses now. I guess these opened up. Must have been just after 1930s. These must have opened up for us. So I'm going to get 2 buses. Do we need any concrete mixers? We might want to get maybe, I don't know if we need more concrete mixers. Covered halls, we have 2 of them. We don't need more. We don't need dumpers. Actually, maybe we could. What is kind of our bottleneck here? So we have resources on site. Resources are on site. Resources on site. So maybe it does look like concrete. So maybe let's do dumpers total capacity. Let's do 1, 2, and then I don't think we need more asphalt because we had, when I remember, we had a few of them sitting the last time. So maybe let's just see when those vehicles get here, if we're going to need anything more. And then let's look at buses. And I'm going to take just the 14 passenger bus. So what I want to do is I want to send workers from the border, and I want to bring them over here so at least we can start getting a somewhat progress going on this rail track, which we eventually need to bring out this way, but we're waiting for them to use all of this fuel so we don't have to just get rid of it. And then hopefully this city gets up and running quicker. And we do have, it looks like we do have a lot of stuff spewed about, which is good. We've got a lot of lines going down. Got a lot of stuff going down. Just need to have more things, I guess, fleshed out. So we'll see how this works out for temporarily having this amount of vehicles assigned, and then we'll see how much we have left over. I think it might be a good idea to get a distribution office put in even here, so I can just assign vehicles for fuel Even though I know it's to pick it up from here and deposit it here. Maybe I will actually scratch that. Yeah, we'll just leave it over there. And then what we'll do is we'll just grab it. We'll just assign them to go here once we actually have power hooked up. Because currently we just don't have power hooked up. But eventually we'll have that. And then we still have our excavators in here. Which we're not really doing a lot of excavating right now. So we might assign them to do something. But I don't think I want to. Let's just make sure that this guy... we want to make sure he's also assigned, and this one eventually is going to be assigned as well. And then all the construction stuff that we can construct looks to be underway. Another thing that was mentioned, and this was mentioned by Spam Filter, so appreciate you, Spam Filter. I always appreciate you stopping by and watching the videos. Making this connection here so that vehicles on either side of the expressway can actually get to our clothing factory. So I think last episode... this was going to be the fabric factory that was going to supply the warehouse, and then that warehouse was going to go into the clothing factory, and then the clothing factory, I think we're going to send it back in here, but I'm wondering if we should do its own warehouse, and then eventually we can add in another clothing factory up here, and then we'd have two, and then we could feed into this one. So I just wanted to take a quick peek. If we were to do, say, a warehouse, we could set that warehouse up to be, I guess, if we were to do, what if we flipped this? We could do something along the lines of this, where then we could place that, and then the other one go here, and then this one can wrap around. So then we're only dropping off our crops, and then this can take what it needs, and then it can just push back the linens that come out of it, and then those linens can then be made into, or the fabric could be then made into cloth or clothes, and then the clothes can be put into that storage, and then that's what could be shipped off. But I think small scale wise, we can just get a train to come out here and grab the clothes that it needs, and then head off another direction. So the only part that might be difficult is we want to have this as a rail yard, but I don't know if we're going to need that anymore because these are quite long. We might only have to expand these just a little bit and then just shuffle them down to a 2-lane, and then we would just need to have a track that runs off that way, but we can just easily make that a one-way in and a one-way out, because we're only going to really need one train over there. I don't think we're going to need 2 trains over there. So if we, and at the end of the day, if we did, it doesn't take much just to add a second rail track onto that, and then we're kind of set to keep going. So looks like this one's about to be done. We have some foreign workers on it. I do want this one to finish before we assign any of these other ones, just because I don't want to be stuck. But I think I'll assign this one because it's going to be, I don't want to assign that. I just want them to work on that. I think this is still... construction has stopped. It shouldn't be... assign construction. Okay, that's still going to be assigned to that. And that's good. That's what we want to see. Yeah, so okay, that's going to be all underway. We got them going over there now, which should activate the one bus that we have in here. And our dumper's not moving anywhere, but that's fine because this guy needs to get over there. And this is the capacity currently. So we have no fuel for tracks. And I don't even actually know if we can. So we have water, but our water isn't hooked up. Which we are pulling water from the treatment plant, which now that I'm looking at it, we didn't need to pull it from the treatment plant because this could have just used any type of water. I don't think it really mattered as much, but it's going to be treated water. That's just what they're going to get. So hopefully they like the treated water that they're going to get, because that's what they're receiving. Yeah, so we're going to keep building that up. Looks like our board storage is getting back up to speed where we need it to be. But I just want to take a brief look. So resource construction site, we have a lot of resources, just not a lot of labor. We have the resources, just not enough labor. So it really does look like a labor problem. And a lot of this is coming up to, if we had machinery, which doesn't come until 1932 for road cranes, we could have been able to pump this out a lot quicker. But unfortunately, I'm going to see if I can get more of this underway, because currently I don't think the other construction site is actually assigned to do any of this stuff. So I just want to make sure the other construction site is also assigned, and it's going to work on these projects, because I did add in that secondary construction office, and I just want to make sure that they're going out and doing the things that they need to do as well. So there's another housekeeping thing. I want to get into the video before we talked about this one, because I wanted to hook the viewer. That's what I've been told. Hook the viewer, and your videos will prosper. I'm thinking Car Dealer Simulator is going to be more of a weekend fun series that comes out maybe once a week. And I think I'm going to be bringing back Captain of Industry. So Car Dealer Simulator, take more of a backseat. Captain of Industry, going to probably fill the slots of the Monday, Wednesdays. And then Workers and Resources sticking around for the Tuesday, Thursdays. So now that that housekeeping item is out of the way, back to the game. Back to the what it looks and feels to be the slowly anticipating watching of this being built. So another thing that was brought up, which now this is built, this is being built, which this was the closest one. These two were the problem children. This has a pollution cloud. If we just go into the heating, small heating plant. I think it's, yeah, it's not that one. It's this one. This one has I would say half a cloud. So for every, I think it was every cloud, it had to be 250 meters away, which I believe is the rule. So if we, and it goes in an oval. So if we took this guy here, yeah. So there, that one's like barely out of the way. These ones are out of the way. This is fine. These three look like they might have a problem. I think our only saving grace is it's not going to be a constant. I want that to go away, please. Our only saving grace, I don't think it's going to be constantly having these in a problem where this is pumping out too much. If it does become the case, what we could do is we could build some bigger housing on this side, demolish these two or these three residents, open up this location for maybe more services, and then we can just replace them over here if this is a problem. And we'll just have to monitor it. I mean, that's the beauty of it. We can get citizens in, and if there is a health problem, we can just kind of leave these ones vacant, push them over here, and then kind of solve the problem down the road. So I'm going to change the depot for those 4 excavators. I want them to actually be working on something and not just sitting there. Because all that this needs is just the water, and it just needs the fuel. But we can't do anything without any electrical. So maybe let's look around here. What could we? So this needs just workers. So maybe let's high prioritize this. High prioritize this. Let's see if we can get. Let's see if we can get some stuff maybe online. So some things are maybe a little bit quicker. So let's try to get a lot of this stuff online. And let's see if we can high prioritize these lines as well. Because most of them look like they are high prioritized. It just looks like we have a worker problem. But even like these buses are on the way to pick up workers. There's only 20 workers waiting in the queue to be picked up to even go to a job site. So even if we were to get more workers, we're still running into the same problem, where there's just not enough workers waiting to be assigned out from from the customs house, because 27, by the time these two vehicles pull into the pad, because right now it's just completely full of people, gravel. Once these guys pull in, yeah, they completely deplete the amount of workers we have. So this guy is carrying, looks like 20, and this guy is carrying a max load of 14. So it's not a manpower problem it's a manpower problem we have, but it's not a manpower problem we have from the customs house. It's a manpower problem we have just from the map in general. Because our next closest custom house that we can get more workers from is in Luxembourg, which only has 20, which doesn't really help us. And then the next one is miles away. So we're not in a good situation for work. Work is hard to come by. That seems to be the ultimate saying right now, is work is hard to come by. So max speed is 17, 31, 31, 45. So I'm not sure why they're not deciding to pass. Now I'm wondering, this is not the type to make a one-way. This would be the type to make a one-way. I'm not sure, because they're not deciding to pass, and I think it's because they're thinking this is ideal for a 2-lane, but it's just creating more of a traffic jam. I wonder if we could have... I don't want it to shoot off that way. That just looks weird. Can we have... No, it doesn't look like we can. I mean, maybe we could do a straight shoot across, but that also looks weird. I just want to give them a way to be able to utilize, if they wanted to. I wonder if we could do something like that, because this is still pretty far away from the border. But it just gives them a way to get across the border, and I'm going to high prioritize this just in case they want to switch lanes. They can have that luxury. And let's fast forward that. We'll get that being built. So this gives them kind of an option to pick a lane, maybe the non-fullest lane, and then once they have that lane picked, then they can like go to a different location, like swap some lanes, go to this lane or that lane or whatever it may be. So then maybe they're not stuck. So let's high prioritize that. Let's see if this works out. If it just is an absolute nightmare, I'll delete it. It's not the end of the world. We can definitely get rid of it. But I want to see if that opens up maybe a little bit more possibility for some of these workers. Looks like this actually could get a bulldozer on site, which is nice. But yeah, our biggest weight is road cranes, because without road cranes we can't. We just can't. I mean, there's not enough machinery, not enough help for the machinery that you get. So we're just kind of sitting in a position where we get the workers there, but they can only do so much, to the point then where they can't build something, is what I'm getting at. It takes them a lot longer to build something with that road crane. Long story short, that is the problem we're running into. But at least we have gravel roads, a lot more gravel roads than I normally have ever in a Let's Play Workers and Resources. Also, the longest standing Workers and Resources I think we've had on this channel. But maybe we can't even speed things up. I was going to say, maybe if we want to speed things up, we could look to getting some more vehicles put down. But again, it just goes back to our workers. We don't have enough. Just don't have enough to pull from. And I'm wondering if it's the year we're in. So hopefully we can get together some high voltage wires, get together some underground voltage wires, really put all of this together, get this up and operational. Because I think, yeah, this has power as well. It just doesn't have, we just haven't started building it, and we don't really have anything sitting to justify like saying, oh, maybe we should start it, because nothing is currently sitting. and waiting. Everything is on the move. So a lot of vehicles look to be... Are they flipping around or what are they doing? It looks like we're building something out over here. This guy is bringing gravel. So this site does need gravel. So he's laying down the groundwork of gravel, and then everything else should be getting built up. So we're going to need to have a train going from here to here. This can suit itself because workers will just find the job and they'll just go to the job. So this will always be operated. These are going to be scary. And then we just have to pull out workers over here. There was a mention about the gas station being on this side. And then a discussion about road hierarchy and stuff. But I'm thinking if they can just turn around and come down here if they need, this should be fine. But we'll add an entrance here just in case they need it, just to have a quicker turnaround to get some gas. And then we also have the bus end station. So we can assign buses to go from the platform to the clothing drop-off back to the bus platform. The end station, so they can refuel, and then they can also get their spacing better. And then we might just have to send some down here as well, just to get a few workers down here. Don't need many. We could honestly even just do it from foreign aid, because I don't think we're going to need to pull in our workers. Needless to say, I just think maybe have our workers focusing on building up this town, their own town. I'll get my machinery, keep building this up, and then we'll just bring in foreign aid to work on the rail yards, because I am hoping that once we build up, I guess Dunkirk is what it's called. Once we build up Dunkirk, which is a very French name, once we build this up, hopefully then we have a medium amount of unemployment. Like, I'm thinking like 15 to 20 might be healthy for like building this republic quicker. Because if we have 15 to 20% unemployment, a lot of them are just going to go work on the construction yards. And that means that this will fly up quicker, which means we can get more workers quicker. And then when we get more workers quicker, we can actually get them to go work at these different sites without having to keep pulling from the pool of foreign border immigrants waiting to work in the Republic. Wow, this is taking a long time for that to run out of gas, because this is the other one that has gas in it. This one's still just trying to run out, and this is the one by the border. So it looks like these are getting gravel dropped off. It looks like there is enough gravel on site, so now we just need to get our bulldozer to actually pave this, and then the bus is... Ooh, you just heard a bing from the wife's computer behind me. Yeah, so hopefully once these are built, they can kind of decide and switch lanes and maybe avoid slow traffic, so they're not, doing this, where they're just sitting and waiting for somebody to go past, and then they just do that, where they just merge through each other. They're like, well, I waited long enough, didn't I? Yeah, silly. So we're gonna do that lane yield, because I guess we're gonna have to set this all up now too, huh? Yielding. So yield. I think that's how we want it. We want the middle. We want this to be through, but we want everything else to yield. That is an absolutely chaotic looking junction I think I have ever seen. That is a lot of signs. I think I messed something up, but we'll just keep rolling with it. Whatever. It is what it is. Not a problem. So yeah, this bulldozer, he is really slowing down this traffic. And I don't even think that they can zoom past, because they are worried about hitting another vehicle. Maybe on these roads they can, if there's room to pass, they'll look to pass, and maybe just on dirt roads that can't pass if there's no room. So I wonder if this car... Oh, he's doing it. Oh, head-on collision. Oh, so close. So they do have the availability to pass, but I'm thinking with these guys thinking that they're going so slow anyways, I think maybe they're thinking that they're not going to try to pass. Which I guess makes sense. So it looks like people are still using that road. I think I might want to just make this just in a straight road eventually. Get rid of that availability to jump across the track at an angle. I just think butting it straight in would be just fine. So this has 2 gallons left, or 2 liters, whatever it's working in. My snow plows are just kind of hanging out and chilling out. And then we also have a bus stop here for the vehicle repair station and also the water treatment, which is very important. We do need to make sure we have water treatment up and running. So we'll also make sure to fully stock that. So maybe up in here somewhere we could set up a road depot, or we could even just do it over in here. I want to see like where might be the best place to put a free road depot. Maybe just even in here, just tuck it away for right now, and then they can just go out over there. Because I think that's fine. I think they travel fast enough. We can only really get just some small buses anyway. So yeah, I'm going to set it up over here. We need to get the road depot. I think just free is fine. Don't need to go too crazy with this. And then we'll purchase... Maybe we'll purchase the buses now. So this is 30 and this is 15. So what if we did 3 of these and 1 of those? Or if we just did 4 of these? So that's 30, 60, that's 120. That would move around 120 people. I think that would be good, but what are other road depot options that we have? So looks like we have no road depots because we haven't researched them. And that's the ones that unlock the next level that we want. And these are end stations small. What end station did I put down? Bus end station. Why is this bus end station different than the other bus end station? So this is a bus end station small. Bus end station small. So this is 2.2. This is 2.6. Oh, this is a lot. This would have been way simpler. But this is almost built. So this was a lot more gravel and stuff. And I should have been paying more attention to that. Because this used up a lot more concrete than this one would have. This one used up far less concrete and boards and asphalt. So this would have been the one to build. Wasn't paying attention. Maybe for future, if we're looking to build something that is a little bit more cheap, we can build that. Maybe somewhere around over here. But I just think right now, I think we're fine. Looks like we have our clothing industry going up as well. That's good to see. We got a lot of excavators on site. It's always good to see some progress over there. And then these are also going up quickly. We have workers working away, so it does look like they can switch the lanes if they want to. Kind of looks like this one, but for roads. So they can swap over if they need to, and they're not going to be, I guess, bottlenecked by the slower vehicles, and then they can get over here and zip past if they need to. So looks like that is moving good. Again, these are just all empty, just waiting on more workers. So it looks like we have our electrical all set up in the town. We got our water set up in the town. Heating is set. Waste is set. But one of the things I think we need to look at, this guy here, the fabric factory does indeed need the fabric factory. The water tank is 20 meters cubed. Consumption at max production is 11 meters cubed. So it does need water. And also, actually, I just realized none of this even has any hookups. So we can... Ooh, cool. We have some power. But not all of the power we need. So which one was it again? So I can bring off power here, or I can bring off power here to run over there. And then from here, I will need... I wonder if I should do a transformer here just to give me more availability and options. Which I think I'm going to do. I'll put a transformer here. This can power up pretty much this and anything I put across the road from it. And then I'm not having to pull power. And then we might look to do just a high voltage switch kind of nearby it as well. Probably kind of just something like... So that needs to be where the waste goes out. So maybe what we'll do... Because this is where sewage is. What if we did something like this where we get... I can't... Oh, I can do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, we can do something like that. And then power, if I grabbed power transformer, and then I hooked this guy up. Thinking, yeah, if I just do that, and then I can just get an 8-volt run here. So that would be my power transformers that I can pull off. So I can do anything over here that I need to do. And then that would allow me to just get some smaller splitters now. And then I can pull anything I need over here. This allows me, because what was this? This is a 6-volt switch. Yeah, so it allows me to pull any power anywhere I need to in this area. And then this would be the transformer to allow me to pull any small lines around. I think this is actually... this one's getting close to tapped out, so I might want to put a switch somewhere up here or something like that. And then this power over here is going to allow me... I believe the transformer still has more hookups on it. Yeah, it still has quite a few. So if I need, I can put a switch over here or over here. But I just want to make sure that I have enough power that I can draw around where I need it to be. And I'm not going to run out of ways to bring power into our public. So this one over here, I just need to run a power line here, bring it across, and then bring it into here. So let's see if I can... see if I can run power. So if I did something... looks like I can do that. And then this allows me... if I need to, I can also still run power out this way. But we do have this, so I'm really just looking at running it behind. And then we can run like that, which that's still not... those do look like small lines, don't they? All right, so let's do this. Let's do that. So let's look... because I can't remember if I can run trains under this. So let's maybe look. Can I run... if I say build, you say how much? Build. How much? Can I run... yes, okay. I can run lines under existing cables. I just don't think I can run... I just don't think I can plop down buildings, but I can run cable. I'm going to believe in the game. I'm going to believe that's what it's telling me. So I want it to run... I want it to run kind of here, and then I want it to run in there. And then that allows me to still switch out this way if I need, which that's the only place I'd probably need to extend my power, because I have power there, power here. Worst case, I need to extend the power down this way, and I can still pull off there. To get the power to be further down the Republic. So I think that is good. And that allows me to take that away. And then I'm thinking, I don't know if we're going to need like a power switch, because this has quite a lot of pulls off of it. If I run out of pulls, then I will look to get a switch going. But I think for right now, just running what we have should be fine. So I'm going to do one switch there. And then this is kind of the backbone of the industry, but I don't think I need to hook up more than just the one. So let's hook up this guy there. Let's say build, and then we need to assign everything that we just put down. Minus that. Everything else we need built, just not the road. My road construction office is dealing with that, not these guys. And then these guys, okay, these guys are assigned to that big blob, which is great. Looks like this is just finishing. Then that's done, or yeah, that's done. And then that's just finishing. And then this is ran here. This is done. And then that hasn't even been started. Okay. Hopefully that gets underway, because that is literally the last connector, I think. Oh, minus that. Minus. Never mind. It can take some time to keep building because it's not even close to being done. So, yeah, that's fine. Take your time. Build what you need to build. Okay. So we got power hookup. We don't have water. We don't have sewage. Sewage, easy. We can take care of that pretty fast. So we're going to want to build, I think maybe if we just did a large to this, to that switch kick out. Actually, maybe let's do it to that switch kick out. So we can still run one of them this way. I don't think this factory is going to produce more than what a large tube can kick out. But we'll take a quick gander. Fabric factory, so it's going to be exporting at max capacity. Sewage export 20 meters cubed a waste. And is that max power consumption is 20 megawatts? Max wattage, daily water consumption. So yeah, I think this large one, it will be plenty. And then plenty enough with even additional need, because I think a lot of this industry is going to be pumping out a lot of big old sewage, and then this can hook up. This can hook up to this line as well, and then we'll get that built. We'll get that assigned. Okay, so that's going to be our sewage problem, because that's hooked up to that switch. This still has two more switch connectors, sorry. And then before we need to build another switch, which we should build one back here so we're not like handcuffing ourselves, so it all can run into the same switch network. And then we're sitting in a better position than if we put everything, if we end up tapping out, which if you do it right, you should never have to use more than just one of the connectors to the main building, because all these switches should be able to run in. The only thing that you might have to watch out for is it can only do sewage import is 10 meters cubed of wastewater, but it pumps it out pretty fast. It doesn't even have the amount that it can actually discharge. I think it just discharges instantly. So theoretically, if you hooked up everything properly, everything should just be able to dump out. There shouldn't be any need to have any more hookups. So we got electrical, we have sewage, now we just need water. Now, with this fabric factory, we don't need to purify the water. We just need a well. So what I'm thinking to do, because they're not going to care what the heck where it comes from, if there's a bit of water, like if it's not the most pure, because they're just using it to make clothes. That's what I'm assuming that it would be used for. And then they bring their own water bottles from home. Like, bring your water bottles if you're going to be, you know, doing hard manual labor. So I'm guessing this is like 77%. So what I'm guessing is we could set this up right on the edge. So we could do something like that. So that's going to be the water intake. I'm going to set up a line that comes out here, because worst case scenario, we can look to build some more stuff out here. We'll assign that to be built by the right depot. And then what we need to do is we're going to want to hook up switches. Now, we're not going to want to get confused and hook up to the same switch as this one is, because if we hook up to the same switch, we're going to make it very difficult, because this is going to be pure, it's going to be unpure, and then it's just going to be an absolute catastrophe. But as long as we keep things pointing in the right direction, we should be fine. Fast forward 10 more episodes, we are not fine. So anyways, if we had this, let's say pointing that way, and then if we brought in a big old pipe to do that, then we could send in the small boy. Something like, I'm thinking if we did that, I think this allows me to hook that one up. Yeah, just in case we need to hook that one up, we can. So let's get that done. And then that should be the water hookup that it needs. And then that is all awesome and dandy. So now this is going to have electricity, water, and then it has a place to dump its sewage. We don't have to worry about it. The only thing we have to worry about is our money. We've used about close to half our reserves now, and we're not making any money currently. We're still trying to get our Republic up and running, but we can loan out about $761,000. We just need to be able to repay that. So I think we're going to be okay if we do need to pull something out, because once this factory is up and operational, we will then just take it and make some money. Okay. Well, sorry about that. Wife came in, dropped off some dinner, but we'll finish up what we have here nearing the end anyways. So can't remember where we're at. Oh, I think we're talking about right now with the Republic. We're not making any money, but once we get some citizens, or not even citizens, once this is up and operational, the goal would be to bring in some workers. So this might have to sit on standby until we get those workers in, and then we can look to getting everything we need in here. Or we could wait a little longer, get trains up and running, and then we can steam engine everything over into this warehouse here. Yeah, decisions. Yeah, okay. Anyways, well, as you just saw, that is finally out of resources, so we can demolish it. This we want to, what is currently, what does this stand at? I guess before, I'm just going to count it before this bend. What are we at here? 227. I don't think I need to go any longer. That is honestly quite long. Maybe if we just pushed it, maybe if we just go just past this location. So let's get this azimuth down. Let's go there, and there. Okay, so we'll build that. That is as far as we're gonna go with that. I know I had like this grand awesome idea of hooking up this massive train cool like rail yard thing. I just don't think we need it. And if down the road, if we do need something like that, I'm sure we can build it somewhere else. So this is just going to be a three lane going in. We can convert this into a fourth if needed, because this one's just going to be getting built by our builders. So this has fuel in it. Cool. Because I guess actually this fuel wouldn't even work. Building is working without power. No fuel for track construction train set. I think you're lying. I just think we need the water. I think the water is what's actually going to make it so it goes. Yeah, because it needs water and coal. Steam engine, baby. Steam engine. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so now that this is passed, I think what I'm going to do is, these are my export lines. This is my import, this is my export. So I need to terminate this furthest line. So we want to run this line guess what we're going to have to do is do 200, no? No, because this is the Q lane. The train is going to be continuously moving through here. So if I turn... I want to kind of turn it through this way. So if I did... If we did, say, 250... 250, and then this guy can run here. Please say you can go. No. Okay, so then maybe if we did, maybe if we did that, and then say yes. So, what in sense we're building here is giving them. Wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Let's delete that one. We'll build this one back. So we know we need that one for sure. But what I'm thinking is, because if this is an export we're trying to get rid of, we only need to go... Because this is both going to be export track. So if this is export track... Yeah, we just need to do just that, because if this is export, this is all exports. This is coming out of the Republic. This is coming into the Republic. There's no need for an import to cross over track. Just the exports need to be able to grow a track so that when they're sitting here, if for any reason this is clogged up, they have a place to kind of queue and idle until it clears up. And then they can run into it, and then this would be their way in to the Republic. So, with that being said, if I'm trying to hook them up to here, this would be export, but they need their way to get here and get in here. So that means that this track would need to come to a single track, which would have to be the export track. So then they could jump off of it, signal it. They would be the only one in this zone, and then they would head their way out. Look at that. I understand railroad systems. Do I understand the signals of it? No. Will we figure out in the future episodes? Probably not, because I don't really understand how trains work, but we're winging it because while everything else is building, trains are our only thing we can really look at. So yeah. So I did forget, we also need to make the trains go over this way, which does jump over our import. Our export, our import. So actually, well, no. It does. It does jump over. It does make it a difficult time. Because these need to cross over. I need to figure out the signals on that. Because if they're in this zone, I don't want them to crash into each other. So if I have trains coming this way or this way, I need the junction to be the signal, which need to be the same color. So if there ever is a train inside of this junction, I think it's so no other train will go in this junction to T-bone each other while they're moving. So, if this is my import track, which this is roughly the location that I said we can take from. So if I did that, and then this would need to run like so. So like that would need to run like that. And then if they want to hop back, like if they want to go on the other side of the track, because they imported something, but then they got to go grab something for exporting. They need to be able to go track to track, which this is going to be a tight turn. But I think that's not right. But I think in terms of, I mean, it's steam locomotive. It's not going fast. Actually, no, I think that was right. Yeah, because this one needs to go here. And then that one needs to go here. But I think there's a better way to do this. So if we delete that one, this guy can go... Yeah, that guy can go there. And then this guy... Can we bring you... No, because you're pretty close. You're pretty much on this. And I think that's what's causing me the issue. So if we turn this quicker. And then followed this guy. Now I should be able to turn you. And then... No. Well, actually, hold on. So, feel free to fast forward. This might take a while. This eventually is going to be omitted. This is going away. So we can do that. This gives me a straight shot. Because what we're going to want to do... These need to be roughly 200. So that would be that. And then this guy would also need to be 200. So then that could fit in as big of a train as we need. But how big is this? How big of a train does this hold? Let's take a look. So train, depot, not depots, not platforms. I think it's in here. It would fall under... Where would this fall? Here? Yes. So this has a straight station length of 83. So if we just say 80, I need 120. 120 distance. Which actually makes it way shorter. Nice. If I did 120, and then maybe these can... Maybe what I'll do is I'm gonna run a track like this. I think, okay, hold on, stay with me here. If I run a track like this, and I run a track like that, and a track like that, delete that, then I can get these, and I think roughly I need to go 85 more. I was thinking I can get these to look better, but I just think they look just as bad. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get them to... Maybe I could just do that. Yeah, that looks good. And then this needs to go out, I guess at 85, yeah. So do something like that. And then that would be the two lanes to go in. And then let's see, are we long enough? Delete all points. Let's go from the tippy top to the end, and that's, yeah, that's way over. Okay, we're good there. And then what this needs to do is needs to go into a 1, so that 1 in, then they split and decide on what they want to do, and then they can come out. Or maybe we don't even need a choke point, because we could just do that. But it's only going to be 1 import, right? So if we did that, that came down here like this. This guy would come here like that. We could then hook him up here. No, he needs to go further. Oh, that was the wrong buttons. I have made a mistake. Now that guy goes like that. Yes. This guy, you would cross here. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so you would be here, you would be here. So then if this was export, he would then be coming on the import. Yeah, to then switch tracks, and then the export would then be coming on the import. But he should never use this because he's going to be coming on the export rail. Right? Yeah, because he's exporting whatever he's bringing. Whatever he's bringing in, he should be exporting it. So if that's the theory, then we shouldn't need that one either. Yes, because he's going to be exporting, just going out. He's coming in, but then if he's leaving there. So if he's going here, brings in what he needs to, he's importing it. Then this would still be considered importing because he's going, and then he would jump on the export track, and he should never need to jump back on this track. Leave it in the comments below. Am I doing it right? I think I'm doing it right. It sounds right. It sounds really good. But, you know, sounds really good and is really good. Two different things. So, yeah, leave it in the comments below. Am I on the right track, or am I just going absolutely crazy? So I can't hook this up yet because I need to get these out of the way. And when these are out of the way, then I can hook it up. I'm thinking if we want, we can hook them up into here, the temporary storages. It's a little bit closer to at least the town. Wait, what is going on here? Did I activate these? I did. When? When did I activate these? I don't know. But I want to make sure that this gets done because it looks like everything else is actually done, except for that and that. There's still a lot not done, but it looks like we have trains underway. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Will this work? Because this is importing, and then this would technically be the export line. But it doesn't matter because they would just be going to grab clothes to then switch track to hop on the export line. And then eventually we're going to need to have a bypass. So it's going to have to go woo this way to bypass everything to get further into our industrial park. Or the train choo-choo track is going to need to go that way. Yeah, that's a very complicated situation that we'll cross it a little bit later. It's too much for my my brain to handle. So if this is my import, and I still want to have availability, oh, sorry, that's my export. This is my export. This is my import. I still want to have availability to kick it out that way, which I think I can, because this would just be a path. Then I need to take a look at how big 76. I don't believe that. So let's go take a look at the warehouses again, which are in here. And I believe that's not the warehouse I have. This is the warehouse I have. No, I'm lying. It's this one. Nope. It's this one. Yep. Okay, so this one. This one's 87. Okay, so 87, and then plus, so let's just say 85. So it'd be 115 to make sure all of my trains will fit. So it needs to be there. So if I did there. So that is where we're going to make it go down to a one-way train. Yeah, so we'll do something like this. And then we will jackhammer this back. Actually, no. This can stay... no, yeah. Do something like that, and then this can hook up into there. I think that's the goal here, because then this would be our import. It would go onto that line, and then it would go, oops. Then it would go onto our export line, because they would in sense come back, right? So I need to go 115. I want to just make this a little bit of a nicer track. So I did like that. And then no, I think yeah, it's gonna look wonky. Whatever. Actually, that doesn't look too wonky. Let's just do that. That looks good. Okay, so that means that if they come in on the import, if they're bringing anything, this is a dedicated only lane for them. I see a problem here already, because if there is a train in here, unloading and there's another train waiting to do anything, he's going to have to be stuck waiting for who knows long, and that's going to clog up my potential train from going this way. But if I make him sit here as well, he's just going to be blocking this path. So what I think we need to do is we're going to need to have a way to have trains sit in a different location to then go. This game, honestly, this is quite intricate. Just for trains alone, to try to get the trains to get to understand where the trains are supposed to go, how they're supposed to go in, and all this intricate stuff. I mean, we spent almost the entire half of this episode just trying to figure out these trains. So that'll do it today. We're gonna come back to it another day. My name is Brave. If you enjoyed the episode, remember, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's been a fun one today. Can't wait to get back to another one. The Republic keeps growing. It's looking great. It's coming together. In the comments, last episode, somebody did mention, looks like the Republic's coming together. I agree. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get the train stuff figured out so everything's kind of moving, flowing, and doing things well and right. Because just doing it by trucks isn't going to work. But until next time, I'll see everybody later. Bye.